Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. Yes, this is the second weekly reading vlog in a row. I am on it. Obviously this week is week 2 of Spoopathon and I am more than ready to get going with wave 2 of the readathon. I do have a few plans for reading this week. I'd started a new audiobook last night, which is one that I'd never heard of before, but I was just scrolling through Libby and I saw that it was quite a quick YA thriller, so I thought it'd be perfect for this week while I am going to be quite busy. And it is Win, Lose, Kill, Die by Cynthia Murphy, and I did manage to listen to about 10% of that last night. I think 9%. I have 6 hours and 50 minutes left. I am listening to it on 2x speed, so I've only got about 3.5 hours left, which is not too bad. Like I said, this one is a YA thriller set in a boarding school in England, I believe, where a series of murders is targeting the school's brightest and best. Someone is determined to stop at nothing to clear their path to the top, but who is it and how can they be stopped? A high school slasher with a lethal twist. This just sounds like such a good easy read for the week ahead. I have been looking at the Spoopathon prompts, and I guess this one would go for criminal and library book, if I am allowed to use library book, because that is one of the other alliance's prompts, but I feel like I could use it just as a normal prompt. I'll have to double check what that was, spoops, but hopefully that'll get used for that. And then in terms of my physical reads, the one book that I really want to read this week is Belladonna by Ashleigh. This one will count for gothic. It will also get me the prompts in human because death is a character in this, and I'm not sure if it's a first person narrative, but we will soon find out. I'm hoping to get a lot of points with this one. I am so excited to read it. I've been excited to read it ever since I got it in the September YA FairyLoot box. I've already talked about the synopsis of this quite a lot in both my autumn TBR and my October TBR, so I'm not going to go through it again right now, but I will of course talk to you about how it is going as I am reading in my updates. Those are my two main plans for my reading this week. I do have a very busy week as well because this weekend it is our work trip to London, which I'll of course be taking you guys along with me for. But before we do that, I do want to get as much reading done as possible, and also I'll be able to read when we're traveling as well. So hopefully it'll be another productive week for Spoopathon. It is Monday, so I am starting this on the first day of the week, which I know is highly irregular for me. I am feeling quite proud of myself right now. But right now I'm going to go ahead, make some dinner, and I will give you an update as soon as I've done some reading. Hi guys, and happy Thursday. I am in a little bit of a rush. I do need to hop off very quickly onto the first leg of my journey for this weekend. I am going to be going through to Edinburgh tonight, and I'm going to be staying with Ashleigh from A Frolic Through Fiction. She is very kindly putting me up tonight before we travel to London tomorrow with the rest of the Edinburgh FairyLoot crew. So I've just finished work and I'm going to head off very soon so that we can go and order a takeaway and just get very excited about our trip tomorrow. But I thought I would give you a little reading update before I go. So I am now about halfway through Belladonna by Ashleigh, and I am absolutely loving this book. It's giving me all the gothic vibes I dreamed of. In this one we are following a young woman called Signa who is currently 19 years old. She is due to inherit her fortune when she turns 20, but until then she's basically been shipped to various different relatives because her mum and dad died when she was very little. However, every time she gets shipped to a new relative, that relative seems to die. Signa is under the impression that she is bringing death with her wherever she goes, and that he has something out for her, that he is trying to cause her pain by killing all these different relatives. At the beginning of the novel, we see her last relative, Magda, I believe, die, and we find out that Signa can see ghosts, talk to them, and that she can see and talk to death as well. Puddle, please stay away from my camera. It also turns out that when she is like in this veil between life and death, she actually has some powers very similar to death. We don't know too much about that now, but it looks like that is going to develop throughout the novel, and I'm very intrigued to find out. However, she is now off to stay with her uncle at Thorn Grove. She is staying there with her uncle and her cousins. Her auntie died fairly recently from an unknown illness, and her cousin Blythe is now ill with that illness too. And towards the beginning of the novel, the ghost of Lily and her auntie shows up, appears to Signa, and tells her to come to her garden where she will tell her how to save Blythe. That is all I'm really going to give you in terms of like the overall synopsis, but just know it is amazing. Like the beginning definitely gives me Gallant vibes, just in the sense that we have this orphaned young girl, obviously a bit older than Olivia was in Gallant, but she's now going to stay with her uncle in this gothic manor. Her male cousin is a little bit of a dick. She can see ghosts. It's all very Gallant to begin with. It's also giving me Secret Garden vibes because of her ill cousin and because she wants to go to this garden to find out more. That is giving me Secret Garden vibes. I absolutely love Death as a character. Like I always love seeing Death as a character in any book, but I'm really enjoying it in this one. He's a very intriguing character. Like so far, obviously Signa thinks she has it out for him, but I feel like there's a lot more to him, and maybe he's not as evil as she seems. Maybe he actually might have a little soft spot for her. I don't know. I'm feeling something growing there. There's definitely a romance brewing between him and Signa, and I am very intrigued to see how that will work. A human and death having a romance, like I'm all for that. So yeah, overall, very much enjoying this one so far. Could definitely be a 5-star read. That's the vibe it's giving me at the moment, but we shall see. I have also been listening to more of my audiobook, which is Win, Lose, Kill, Die by Cynthia Murray. That one... Let's just say I'm not enjoying it quite as much. Like it's definitely very YA. Can't remember if I've told you the synopsis already or not, but we're basically following this young girl called, I want to say Lizzie or Liz, who is at this boarding school in England. It is for only the best and brightest. You have to be really smart to get into it, and she is part of the secret society there, which is a very sinister secret society. I don't really quite know what's going on with that one yet, but all of a sudden members of this secret society start turning up dead under very suspicious circumstances. So yeah, that's like the overall synopsis. Very dark academia vibes of our secret society and our murder. I am very much struggling with the narrator. Like the narrator in this is very like cringy British. Like I don't know why, I feel like I just get on better with American narrators, but this one in particular, I'm struggling with it a little bit. I do love the school setting and the dark academia vibes, but in the writing they mentioned that it was dark academia. Like the character herself was like, oh, this is so dark academia, and I was like, the fact that you've mentioned it now has kind of ruined the vibe. Do you know what I mean? We do have like our first person narrator, Liz or Lizzie, but we also have little chapters in between some of the bigger chapters from the murderer saying, like, from their point of view, obviously we have no idea who the murderer is, but we get these little snippets of them saying why they're killing people, how they killed them, showing their very like evil side. Like they're quite a dark persona, let's just say, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that little addition in between the chapters. It definitely keeps me intrigued. I am enjoying that we've got this like corrupt, sinister secret society. Like I feel like the head teacher is maybe kind of like covering things up a little bit. Definitely do not trust her, that is for sure. The romance in this is the biggest thing I'm struggling with. Like the dialogue between Liz and her love interest Cole is just so cringe. Like I'm actually cringing just listening to it. It is very teenager, but like to the point where like I feel like it's very much an adult writing a teenager's perspective, if that makes sense. Like I know when I was a teenager I definitely would have not said this stuff, and I don't think I know anyone who would, and if you did you probably get bullied for it. It's a bit much. Also I feel like her love interest is very forward, and I can't tell if it's just like insta love and we're supposed to be all for that, or if he's a little bit of a creep. But either way, not feeling it. So at the minute this book is kind of sitting around like a 3-star vibe. I feel I am like halfway through this one, so I think I'll have maybe like 2 hours left to listen to, because I am listening to it on two times speed. I will definitely finish it. I don't know, it's not the vibe I'm wanting at the moment, especially when in comparison to Belladonna, which I am absolutely loving. So we shall see. But anyway, right now I'm going to head off for Ashleigh's. I don't know if I'll really update you throughout the weekend because I'm going to be around people all the time. I will try and get lots of lovely B-roll for you though, so you can see the trip, and I will give you an update. If not during, definitely when I am back. Alrighty guys, we have arrived in the fanciest hotel I have ever stayed at in my entire life. I have major imposter syndrome just now, but you need to see this hotel room. Is absolutely insane. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning. This is where we come in. Is our freaking amazing bathroom. We have a bath and we also have a shower. And oh my god, this is my favourite part about the whole room. We have robes, guys. We have robes. We had a little bit of a heart attack for a second because this door does open up, but it's for adjoining rooms and the other door has to open too, and you can only open it from inside the room. So crisis averted. But basically this is the amazing hotel room that we are going to be staying in tonight. We have got the cutest little reading chair here. Like I have like dreams of sitting here with this lamp and reading. That probably won't happen because we've got the busiest weekend ever, but it was a cute thought. We have our little London view here. I mean, look at that. Like, what even is that decor? It's just beautiful. And then we have these little panels. You get different types of light. So we can have reading light. We have mood lighting. We have full lighting. We can close the curtains. Like, look at this. Like, what even is my life? What am I experiencing right now? Okay, I'm gonna open the curtains again so that like it doesn't go dark as heck. But yeah, this is our fancy pants hotel we're staying in for the next couple of nights. It is absolutely beautiful. We are gonna be having a very, very busy weekend, so I'm not sure how much I will update you, but I will try and film as much B-roll as possible. I did actually read a lot more of Belladonna while I was on the train, so I'm now on, let's check, page 221. So I'm just over halfway, and guys, I am absolutely loving this book. Like, we're very much away from the gallant vibes now, and it's becoming more of like a good sort of like ghost story slash whodunit. It's exciting, it's beautifully written. There's a lot in this now as well about gender in this time period, sort of like Victorian age, what a woman can aspire to, what a woman should aspire to. I love the characters. I love how we're getting to know each of the characters a lot more. There's a few things in this that I feel like have been like really obvious clues about what's going on, but I'm not sure if we're supposed to think that or if that is actually what's going on and I've just cracked it really early. I'm not sure. We have to see. Obviously I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil anything, but if I am right, I feel like it was really, really obvious. If I am wrong, I'm going to look a little bit stupid, but it's fine. Basically overall, I'm really, really enjoying this book. I will of course give you a proper review at the end of this vlog and more sort of like thorough thoughts and more coherent thoughts. Right now I am tired from traveling. I am hungry and I really just want to enjoy this lovely hotel room. So I will catch up with you guys in a bit. righty guys, I am officially back from London. Did anyone see that? This cat be cray cray. I had the most amazing weekend, let me just tell you. It was unbelievable. I love my team so much. Like, I cannot even begin to find the words to explain how grateful I feel and how lucky I feel to be in the job that I am. I just love it so much. I love all the people I work with so much. The weekend was just an absolute dream. Honestly, I could go on and on about how incredible it was, but you guys saw the footage. You guys can see how happy I am. That's all you need to know. I am paying for it. Let's just say, like, I do have a chronic illness, and whenever I do too much, it does definitely take it out of me. I've put some makeup on stage to try and feel a little bit better, but I am definitely suffering. It's worth it though. Like, I would rather go and do these things and feel horrendous afterwards rather than just miss out on them altogether. So I'm not going to do too much moaning, but if I sound a little stuffed up, croaky and look a little bit tired, that is why. First of all, I think we should do a little book haul because I did pick up quite a few books in London and I've also received some books as well. So we'll start with the books I bought while I was away. I did stick to like basically the same genre. I think these are all pretty much like horror type books, and they're all from Forbidden Planet because I had never been to Forbidden Planet before, and let me just tell you, it's amazing. I want to go back there ASAP. But first of all, I picked up 13 Stories by Jonathan Sims. I had actually never heard of this one. I just saw the cover and it immediately grabbed me. It is horror. It sounds amazing. It's basically following a dinner party that's held in the penthouse of a multi-million-pound development. All the guests are strangers, even to their host, the billionaire owner of the building. None of them know why they were selected to receive his invitation. Whether privileged or deprived, they share only one thing in common. They've all experienced a shocking disturbance within the building's walls. By the end of the night, their host is dead, and none of the guests will say what happened. His death has remained one of the biggest unsolved mysteries until now. But are you ready for their stories? So obviously it's called 13 Stories in the sense of like how many floors there are on the building, but I also believe there's going to be 13 separate stories, IES, from all the different people who were there and what they saw, so we're getting like different vantage points. I believe that's what I am getting from it, like the 13 guests. It says it's an ultra modern take on the haunted house story. Like I said, I've never heard this one, so I do not know if it has good reviews, bad reviews, whatever, but I am definitely intrigued by it. Next up, I picked one up that I've heard differing opinions on, but I feel like I'm gonna like it. That is The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. I'm pretty sure in this one we follow a young woman who like doesn't want to marry, and then she marries a man purely for like convenience or like because she has to, and then she goes to stay in like his big haunted estate somewhere, even though I'm pretty sure one of the conditions for their marriage was that she wouldn't go there, maybe? Yeah, she must never visit Lindridge Hall, his crumbling family manor. But obviously she turns up there. It's a big gothic manor. I'm pretty sure there are ghosts and all things happening. All I can think when I hear about this novel is how much it sounds like Crimson Peak. And Crimson Peak is one of my favourite movies of all time. So I just feel like I need to read this and find out how I feel myself. I'm all for a gothic haunted house story, as you guys know. So fingers crossed I will love this one. I then picked up 3 more books that were in the 3 for 2 at Forbidden Planet. Obviously, like, I should not have gone into the 3 for 2 section because that was only gonna cause carnage, but I did buy the first 3 editions in the Tokyo Ghoul manga. I've heard nothing but good things about these little sort of horror manga. I know that I think there's like 13 volumes or something at this point, but I got the first 3 because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love these. I'm gonna fly through them, and then I can think about investing in the rest another time. It says, ghouls live among us, the same as normal people in every way except their craving for human flesh. Like, I'm just totally feeling this. I'm feeling all of these books that I bought in London. They're giving me all the horror vibes I want for spooky season. So yeah, definitely happy with that little haul. Those are the books I picked up in London. However, I have received some more as well that I just wanted to quickly talk about. So I did receive 3 books in the mail from one of my amazing patrons, Erin. She is just one of the sweetest humans. I mean, all of my patrons are the sweetest humans. I cannot believe how lucky I am to have such a lovely little family of people that I talk to every week. But she sent me 3 books. She sent me My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, which I am dying to read. Like, I cannot tell you how much I squealed when I saw this in the mail. I'm pretty sure this one is like, yeah, it's a spicy murder mystery. So I haven't actually read anything by Tessa Bailey yet. I still need to read It Happened One Summer, and is it Hook, Line and Sinker that's the second one in that series? And then obviously I want to read this one as well. I've heard such amazing things about this. I mean, if you're bringing murder mystery mystery meets spicy romance, those are like my favourite things. So I'm pretty much guaranteed to love this book. She then also sent me 2 poetry books because I have been saying on my Patreon sprints for the last like month now how much I really want to start reading poetry. So she sent me one of her favourites that she'd recommended to me already, which is Maybe I'm Bad by Amy James, and then another favourite of hers, which is The Daffodils Are Dancing by K.A. Blackmore. So 2 lovely little poetry collections that I definitely want to get to very soon. I want to read more poetry, both just to enjoy poetry after hating it during uni, and also just because I feel like it'd be so good for like my Goodreads account to be able to just like fly through poetry collections each week. You know, I am nothing if not efficient. So yeah, thank you so much Erin for sending those over to me. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. I then have also received a parcel, which I will very quickly open for you. I do know what this is, but guys, when I tell you how excited I am for this, like I can't. Oh my god, if I could open. Oh, that is the most unsatisfying thing in the world. We got there eventually. Oh, it's so beautiful. So this is my pre-order, which has come late, but it's fine. Waterstones, I forgive you. It is Verity by Colleen Hoover, the special collector's edition with exclusive new chapter. Like, if you guys know me, you will know how much I love this book. Verity is one of my favourite books of all time. It's one of my favourite thrillers. I'm just obsessed with it. And in this one, we get an exclusive new chapter, which may well explain the ending. And when I tell you, I am not ready, but I'm also really, really ready. I don't know when I'm going to pick this up. Hopefully very, very soon. I do feel like it's like the perfect time of year to read it again as well anyway. So yeah, very happy girl over here. Alright guys, apologies for the disruption. I did have to very quickly move rooms, but I'm back for the rest of this update. I finished my haul, I believe. So we'll go on to the reading update now. I did end up, oh my god, puddle. I did end up finishing Belladonna by Adeline Grace over the course of the weekend. So I read a lot of it on the train down to London, I believe, and then I finished it off. Actually, I read most of it on the way back, and then I think I had about 20 pages left when we got off the train, so I very quickly finished this off last night before I absolutely KO'd. But I did end up rating this one 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I mean, it was such a beautifully written book. It gave me all the gothic vibes that I was looking for. I really loved how they introduced a lot of commentary on gender in the time period in this. We had a lot about Signa sort of like working this out, coming from not really like any family at all, to be honest, to actually like educate her on how like society and class works, particularly for women. And she had always been aspiring to be like a socialite woman. She had found this like etiquette book that her mother had left and always assumed that that's what her mother wanted for her and what her mother was like. So she'd been following that as much as she possibly could when she went to Thorn Grove, and she was finally in that sort of world. She was trying so hard to fit in and to follow all the right rules for women of this period. And there was a lot of commentary on how exhausting that is, just trying to be like this perfect woman all the time. There was also a lot of commentary on like options for women in this time period. Like Signa had aspired to marry like the most affluent popular man, I guess, but she is not someone who needs the money. She is going to inherit a great fortune. And we learn that a lot of other women in this time period, obviously they're not marrying because they can't marry for love. They don't have that luxury that Signa might have to marry for love. So it kind of like hits her when she realises that others have to marry purely because their family need financial stability, and she actually has the luxury of finding someone she wants to marry. Also, Signa is a little bit of a hoe. I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like she fancies every freaking male character in this book, and at one point I was really starting to like question her morals, you know. And I mean, it all worked out in the end, kind of, but at one point I was like, well girl, like choose one and stick to him, you know? I absolutely love the romance in this between her and Death. Like the way their relationship develops throughout this book and how everything is explored. Like I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give any spoilers on this, but just know the romance between Signa and Death is everything, and I freaking loved it. There were also some big reveals towards the end, both in terms of like that relationship and other things going on in the story, and I was actually full on gasping on the train. Like all the girls from FairyLoot were around me like, are you okay? And I was like, it is all going down in this book right now, guys. Like, You have no idea. The one thing that really disappointed me in this book, like I don't have a hand at the minute because Puddle is currently fighting it, but the one thing that really disappointed me in this one was the reveal of the murderer and their murderer's reasons for murdering, and that whole like resolution just wasn't quite up to scratch compared to the rest of the book. Like the murder mystery part of this was kind of let down by that, but overall I just loved the book. Like overall this book overall this book is just vibes, like through and through, and I did love it. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. In terms of my audiobook, I have not really read any more of that at all, to be honest. I'll probably finish it off over the next couple of days, but I don't really have much more of an update for you right now. I will probably let you know how that goes in the next week's weekly reading vlog. So for now, I am going to end off this vlog here. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too chaotic and stressful, because I know it was a little bit all over the place with my trip to London, and I'm not sure how that footage is going to come out, so we shall see when I'm editing it over the next couple of days, but fingers crossed it was entertaining nonetheless. If you did make it to the end of this video, pop an emoji down below that you would associate with London, whatever that may be. I will let you choose whatever speaks to you, you know, what gives you London vibes. Pop that down below just to let me know that you made it to ow oh yeah, now you act all cute once you're on camera and give it a little lick, you little shit. Pop that emoji down below just to let me know that you made it to the end of this video and that you enjoyed your time here. But as always, what do we say, Puddle? If you did enjoy the video, please do give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more bookish content from me, comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every comment. I love you all, please stop biting me. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video, hopefully, if I survive this little kitten attack.